And welcome to my first live. Today is Valentine's Day this weekend, and as a special event, we're going to have Giroux, who's worked with me before, and we're going to talk about, finding love and things that can get in the way of love. So, Dana, are you ready to come and join me? She's starting her own live. This is really live. There we go.
I'm coming, Lise.
Here she's coming. It's worth it. The wait is worth it.
Gotta love technology, don't you?
So, Dana, so we have some fun things we're going to do today. I created a Are You Emotionally Available quiz that takes 2 minutes to fill in, and Dana is going to do it live in a few minutes. But I want to ask you, because we've done work together, what is it that you discover from doing the work that helped you break through for, connecting with your heart and love and give you hope? Like, can you share your story, what was going on? Because you like to empower women.
Yes.
Because I can tell you, I worked with Dana, she's a powerhouse. When we started together, it was really challenging for her, but she was brave and she made her way out of this. And I'm sure that's one of the reasons you want to do with women what you've done for yourself. So she's a really good guide because she's been through the trenches herself. So she's got some good stories to tell. So you want to share a little bit what your journey was like?
Yes, my journey. So when I came to you, I was in full marriage breakdown. And what I didn't realize was that my life, I had traumas. And some of the root of the breakdowns and my ways of being and coping were because they were old ways of being. They were subconscious patterns were controlling my reactions, my choice in a partner, even like the choices, every choice I made in relationships, I never realized how much my childhood and my experiences were dictating what was happening in my marriage and it breaking down. And it was once I worked with you, I started to understand myself better and understand why I had made the choices I had made and why I was struggling and why I was feeling disconnected.
Yeah, and it's not because we're broken. Each and every one of us, we all have stories. We all have, relatively speaking, our conscious mind that wants something is the size of a football.
Right.
And the subconscious mind that's there to keep us alive and safe, the football field. Football field. So when we grow up and you had your mom died and things like this, we end up associating love with trauma, love with pain, love with fear, love with these things. And unless you do the subconscious work, it stays stuck in your subconscious mind. And you may want to change your mindset. You may want to overcome it consciously. It does not work. It's not conscious. It's subconscious. And if you've done, any spiritual kind of work, you know that the outside world will be a reflection of your inside world. So when things are not working on the outside, it's because on the inside you have a story that's manifesting this outside reality. So until you find the triggers, you just keep recreating it over and over and over again. And you can be, and I see this so often with, powerful women who are driven to live a great life. And they come to see me, they're able to work on everything except relationships. And there's often stories of not being safe in relationship, not trusting being with a man or whatever happened. And so even though women, we are very loving and we all want deeply, we all want to, because it makes us feel love. Like I was interviewing this client who wanted to work with me, and I asked her, what's the most painful thing for you. She goes, I'm 47 years old and my heart is full of love and I just want to give it to someone. I want to have a place to give it. And this is, as women, we want this, but if subconsciously it's dangerous, you're always going to find the emotionally unavailable guy at the time where you're emotionally available, or when you're not emotionally available, you're going to find the emotionally available guy, and it's going to impact your life until you find the stories and you dissolve them from your physiology. It doesn't take 10,000 hours. Like, I created this method called the Heart Freedom Method, and I teach it. I have a breakthrough intensive coming up. I think it's April 12 and 13 or whatever the date is. It's the weekend. And I teach people how to do this method, and you can find it so quickly. You can empower yourself. You can learn to use it for yourself. You can do it with your kids. You can do it with your spouse. It's a powerful tool to have in your back pocket, because to be successful in life, it's not complicated. Really, it's not rocket science. First, you need to be clear on who you are, why you're here, where you're going, what you want to do. And I do this. I have another weekend seminar called Extreme Freedom Weekend. And I would say 99% of the people who come to see me have no idea who they are, why they're here, where they're going. And we're so busy. Life is so busy. And we don't even take the time to connect with our heart. And we don't have the intimacy of knowing ourselves. So we constantly crave someone on the outside to know us, because we haven't spent the time to get to know ourselves. So then I did that. She connected with her heart. Then afterwards, you need to know about the subconscious piece. You have 3 clues you have a subconscious belief working against you. Number 1, you know what needs to be done, but you're not doing it. Your friends try to set you up for this amazing person. They're sure it's going to be a perfect match, but you're busy, or you have, a migraine, or whatever. Like, you're going to do everything but go on that. Another clue is you do it, but it feels like drudgery. It's like, oh, I don't want to go. I don't want to do this. Like, you're going, walking backwards. You don't really want to do it. The third clue that you have a subconscious belief working against you with relationship is you follow the recipe. You do everything right. You go on the blind dates. You put your profile online. And you think you find, this person is different. Then it always goes back to the old same patterns. So if you want to have a great relationship, you need to know these things. You need to be clear on who you are, but then you need to be aware of your emotional availability. So, would you like to do our test?
Yeah, yeah, I'll do it.
My beautiful assistant Brittany is going to...
Let's do the test. Let's see if there's still work to be done.
Exactly. It takes 2 minutes. And I created the test because I love to give hope. Like, it's not luck that's going to get you love. I am certain you can have love. Whether you're single right now or whether you're in a relationship, because I have a client that comes to see me and they're in a relationship, but they feel more alone than when they were single, because it's painful to be with someone when, we're not connecting. And it doesn't mean it's the wrong relationship. Often it's about you yourself, opening yourself up to love. I had one of my clients telling me that, like, she said, like, I know it's me. I don't want to leave him. I'm the one blocking this little test right now that I is doing. He's going to take 2 minutes, and she's going to get
So the first section.
what's going on. Just turn off the volume on the side there.
Yeah. Well, I know the first section. Well, because I am in a relationship.
Are you in a relationship? We haven't seen each other in a while. Yes.
So I was laughing because I told him, I said, Lise is the one who told me about best friends with passion. Because I had a type. So this is one of my subconscious patterns. I had a type. It was like different face, same people. Like after my divorce, I was like, oh, this is like Groundhog Day. This is like the definition of insanity. So I would come back. I'm like, okay, something happened again, and oh shoot, I almost lost it. But I finally met someone because I did the work, and I got comfortable being by myself and understanding myself and getting clear about what is it I desired. And I did the Heart Freedom Method, and I did the courses, and I sought guidance from amazing people like Lise because I kept on having the same thing come up.
Also, like, it's so easy as a child, if you lose your mom, to think you feel unworthy of love. That's not the truth. It's obvious. As an adult, you know, it's not because something is wrong with the child that, you know, mom died. But as a little kid, you create all kinds of stories that then prevent you from having what your heart really wants, because in the back of your mind, it's going to hurt again if something happens to them. So I might as well go for the ones that are safer subconsciously. So how are you doing with?
I'm doing good. Now, I'm the
test.
So it's funny. So when I think about my partner, I say he's emotionally available. He would have answered all in threes. But when it was mine, I feel like before I would have answered most of these in threes. Now, I don't do any of these things. I communicate. When he's kind, I don't look for the catch. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. He's nice and kind to me.
So that means you've done good work. That means like that fear is actually out of your neurology, out of your physiology, out of your nervous system that's there to protect you. So that's really cool.
Yeah. So the score is 21 would have been for him, but mine protection score was low. It's under 5 for sure.
That's good.
It's pretty amazing.
So that's great.
Thank you.
So this is what we really want to bring. Like, we want to bring an empowering message. Is that if you follow me, also I have a YouTube channel, and it's a podcast that we have every week. We drop on Thursdays usually, and it's called Soul Worthy Love. And so if you want to watch it, Soul Worthy Love podcast, it's on Spotify and YouTube. And my message is that love is safe, and if it's not safe, it's not love. Love is safe. It's not safe. It's not love. What is it if it's not safe? It's need. It's infatuation. It's confusing intense emotions with love. Because when we have these intense emotions, it feels like, wow, this is true passion. This is so amazing. Like, it's gotta be love. But it's not love. It's actually a very big chemical high. Apparently as high as heroin. That's why some people would call them serial monogamous. Because you go for the high, and then when it goes down, you say, oh, this relationship is wrong. You go for the next high, and then it goes down. While true love is quiet and makes you feel safe. Can you talk about the difference between how you felt before, you know, in your previous major relationship and now in this relationship? What's the difference in your being? How does it feel?
So I was one of those people, those women that I was like, oh, it's, you know, he's so handsome and there's so much chemistry and like he's the one. And I would jump into things really quickly and get really excited, and I'd go climb really, really high really quickly, and then usually it would go, meow, and then I'd be almost too hurt for the relationship. It didn't make sense, the amount of emotions I was feeling, the depth I was feeling for the short term of the relationship. And so that's where I was like, oh, maybe there's still some work that needs to be done. But this relationship was very unexpected, and it was more quiet. We were actually friends first. Now, there was a bit of chemistry when we first met. We met through someone else, and I was away. But we got to know each other. We we got to get to know each other, and it was more steady. You know, it was more like a gentle flow. And because of the work I was continuing to do, it was, you know, the healing journey is a journey. It's not about one teaching or one practice. It's about taking these amazing tools you learn and incorporating them into our daily life, and then continuing to practice them and learn about ourselves. And as I was learning, I learned from you, love is safe. I used to think love was control, and love was intense, and love was safe, and love is wanting what's best for the other person while respecting your needs. And it wasn't about self-sacrifice, and it was about communication. And so it was a very much more steady energy rather than the intense high and then, you know, a bit of a crash.
And that's so good you sharing that, because a lot of the time when it's steady, people think, oh, it's not love. That is actually love. And I like what you said, like, because a lot of women do that. Like, a lot of women think that love is self-sacrifice. That does not work. That's why I created that definition that love is wanting the best for your partner while respecting your needs. Because if you don't respect your needs, subconsciously you tell your partner you're a doormat. And then you feel bad, and now you try even harder to get their attention, to tie them to you, but it does not work. So the only way you're going to keep passion in a relationship, like if this is you and this is your partner, when one person gives up of themselves to be in a relationship, look at that. Now there's only one circle, so one person has disappeared. This won't be allowed to happen. So it ends up creating that. That's why make-up sex is really cool. It's intense. You don't want it all the time. When it does that, then you bring it back this way. Now you're separate. But the wise way of having this, which is sustainable, is that you're in charge of your happiness, your partner is in charge of their happiness, and then you share a bond together. So you need to make sure you don't give up on yourself to be in a relationship. You make yourself alive. You go after all the different areas of your life, and you bring the best out of yourself. So when you bring the best out of yourself and you're with someone who's interested in bringing the best out of themselves, then you can have the best friend with chemistry, which is like you started with a best friend, which is often a really wise thing to do, because so many women, they go and they give their whole heart on a silver platter without interviewing the other person. And then like you give your heart and then it gets walked all over and then it hurts. Now you're more scared. So now the next time you're in a relationship, you're even more scared of opening yourself up. Now you self-sabotage, you know, the right relationship to happen. So, how often do you live together now? What's happening?
Well, actually, it's a long distance relationship.
Ah.
So he lives in Florida. I live here, but he has family here.
Ah, cool.
His parents are still here, and so he comes to Toronto a fair amount for business. So we have been doing a long distance relationship, and because I have my kids so much.
Yeah, so when you have kids, it's good because then it gives you space.
Yeah, it's given us space, but we're taking our time. We haven't, mixed the families. We barely met each other's family. Some friends, he has not met the kids yet because we're waiting for the right time. And it'll be soonish, but we're making the choices together to ensure that both our needs are being met and we both feel comfortable. And we're also thinking in the best interest of the children, because I just don't think you should introduce your kids right away to someone. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I think it's just wisdom. It is wisdom, because if you introduce the kids right away, that happened to me. I met this man once, and he has 3 kids, and we had one date, and then he invited me to spend the weekend with him at the cottage, and the kids were there. And I thought, oh, this is unwise, because now I felt responsible. Like you introduced me to the kids after like I had no idea the kids were gonna be there. So that like it is important to keep the kids in the back of your mind. And it's also about, taming ourselves. Because otherwise, what happens, like right now, you're taming yourself. Long distance relationship for you guys is perfect because you have kids, and then you have time when you're with the kids, you want to be with the kids, and when it's not your time to have the kids, then you can be together. You're building the relationship, you're creating, safety, and then you can see where you're at. And so the way you're doing it is with wisdom right now. When we are in need, which is addicted, to numbing the pain that we have inside because we think something is wrong with us. No, we need someone to latch on to make us feel better. That's when we create big dramas. That's when like I've seen all kinds of dramas happen from that. And that's why I'm passionate about doing this work, because can you imagine a world where we all have the opportunity to feel loved and loving? Like all this stuff, it's happening in the world, all the wars and all the nasty things happening, they don't happen when people will love who they are. That's why we all have, I believe, a world responsibility to learn to connect with our heart so we can be at peace, so we can be loving to ourselves and others. Because people who are connected in their heart, they respect themselves, they respect others, they respect the environment. Right? There's a whole thing that goes with that. So doing this work, helping people find true love, is some ways that we can have a world impact. Because I'm sure some of your friends look at you and they go, oh, I want to be like you. So now you're inspiring. And I know my relationship, like I've had 2 girlfriends really scared of relationship, and they go, I guess it's possible to have, a great relationship. And that was the same thing with me. Like when I met my husband now, it was quiet. It was not like fireworks and everything, but I had such a good feeling in my heart. Like I felt safe, and I still feel safe. And we've been together 7 years now. And I keep learning, we get on each other's nerve. That's normal. But I love him more and more and more and more each day. It's such a beautiful experience to give ourselves. So what would you tell someone right now, a woman that's thinking, oh, my relationship sucks. What should I do? What would you say?
It's a really good one. So for me, the most important thing to do, if you have the dialogue of my relationship sucks or I'm not good at relationships, is to stop for a minute and think about the language you have around relationships. So when I was in my marriage breakdown, and not that my marriage was supposed to be saved, there was a purpose for me going through what I went through. Mm-hmm. But when I think about the way I used to speak about my partner, the way I used to speak about the marriage, the dialogue I embodied around the relationship and love, it wasn't one that was lifting the relationship up. So if you're single and you think there's no good men out there and love isn't for me, then you're going to get more of that, because our words have power. And when what we speak is like a spell, and you're commanding to the universe, that's what you desire.
And at the same time, it tells you your inner dialogue that's connected to you. Like your subconscious mind is talking to these words.
Yeah. And then it's a simple flip of the script. I say to clients and friends who are struggling, even in relationships, like, oh, it's the marriage ups and downs. I'm like, okay, stop, cancel that. Now, let's focus on what you desire. What is it you desire? Do you desire to be in a mature, conscious, loving relationship? Okay, so let's try and only think and speak that which you desire for that relationship or for your life and love. I'm telling you, as soon as I embodied that, and of course I've done the work to work through traumas, rewrite my stories, but once I embodied an empowering dialogue and realized that my words and my thoughts have power, it shifted everything.
And what Dana is saying is true. Like if you do affirmations, if you use words of powers, but your subconscious mind is not on par, watch the lessons coming to you. It's like you're getting lessons on turbo speed because you're not congruent, so it's scary. You do these words of power, you're speaking your truth and all that, but if your subconscious mind thinks it's dangerous, it actually is going to bombard you with the opposite because it wants to protect you. So words of power work when you've done the inner work, so you can build on that and then embody that. It works really good. Like right now I'm writing a book with Jack Canfield, and it's called Unstuck. It's about the method I created, and Jack is in the movie The Secret and all these things, and the classic book that most people have read is Think and Grow Rich. But there's a missing link in these, like in The Secret or Think and Grow Rich, is that if your subconscious mind is not on par with you, with that thing that you want, it actually is going to bring you the opposite. This is actually a clue for you. So, and especially when you're like Dana, this little powerhouse, and you put all the energy behind it, if you're not congruent with it, you're going to get the opposite. So watch, and like do all these things, and then watch the outcome. If you're getting the outcome you want, your subconscious mind is buying it. But if you're not getting the outcome you want, it's not because you're not supposed to have it. It's just because you have a subconscious belief working against you, and you can learn how to get rid of it. That's what you can do. So continues with like, for me, I remember when you first came and people come to see me and they're not sure, should I stay or should I go? Mm-hmm. And my advice is, if you're not sure, stay and keep doing your inner work. Because as you keep doing your inner work and you keep knowing that you're worthy of love and that you know that love is safe, if your partner shifts with you, now you have the answer. But if the partner does not shift with you, you will see it. It becomes really obvious. You keep doing your work, you keep making yourself happy, and the partner is not shifting, then it becomes so black and white, you're not in gray anymore. You know it's time with you. Like at first, you want, you're a mom, you have your kids, you want to save your marriage, you want to think that like, but you were tortured in that place. It was not good for your heart. So you kept doing the work, and at one point you saw it. And then I was really impressed because now after that you took the plunge. Once you saw it, you didn't do it out of running away from challenges. You actually did the work, and then it was so obvious, then you had to take the next step. And the next step is not easy, for sure. But when you challenge yourself, this is how I teach the true love attraction. If you challenge yourself, you attract support. So then I was challenging herself, she attracted support. But when you stay in your comfort zone, then you just stay miserable. You will not escape challenges. You can either decide, I'm going to be brave like Dana did, you're going to challenge yourself and go, okay, this is not good for me. I'm going to have to change all my family dynamic and what is it going to look like. It is scary. Like, I admired you. Like I said, all right, girl, she's going, she's doing it. And you respected yourself. And now the benefits to you is that you're getting a new life with more love, with more wisdom, with more stability, a place when we have our relationships that's solid, it gives us more energy to explore the other areas of life. And it's funny often when a woman comes to see me and she's got a list this long about all the things her partner is not doing, I go, how's your career? And then, well, because if you're looking for your partner to make you happy, it never works. And if you start making yourself happy, you will shift if he or she is supposed to be your partner. If they're not your partner, you will know. And then you need courage. Yeah. You need to go, okay, this is not going to be fun, but I need to challenge myself if I want to get what my heart wants. Can you talk about that moment when you made the transition, what it was like, and now looking back, what would you tell you?
Yeah, it was not an easy decision, but I was working with you the whole time because I couldn't even see what I couldn't see, and I didn't understand why I was going through these things, why I was reacting the way I was reacting, and it was when I started attempting to heal myself and really started to, learn about myself and grow. My partner didn't want me to change.
And that's exactly like, that's when you know it's time to
like I please, I would ask for, let's go for counseling, let's go get support. And for me, it was learning about the traumas was also for my children, because I was seeing, for me, I desire for my children to have a beautiful life, but what they were seeing as love was not what I desired for them.
Yeah, that was not the right model.
And for everyone deserves to feel safe in love and to feel heard and appreciated. And they're just, things got to a point where it's not that I had no choice. I chose that we have to leave. And I packed the car and took the kids to my parents' place. And looking back, when I came from a home that my parents, they separated when I was young. My mom passed away when I was young. My stepmom was pretty controlling with a lack of love. So I thought love was controlling. And I thought love was very hot and cold. And it had to be earned. And as I started to kind of unpack all these ways of thinking and being and redefine love, what was my current relationship just didn't work anymore. It wasn't the divinely aligned partnership.
But you had the courage to leave, and this is why, like, if you're listening to this and you go, oh yes, I know what you're saying is true, and you're staying, you're killing yourself. Like, it's dangerous. Like, you don't have to do it next week, but put a plan in place so that you can be true to your heart and be a model for your kids. Because that's otherwise they learn that, love sucks. People fight all the time, they're miserable, and then even though everybody wants to love, that's their connection, and now they get really scared about, having love. We would like to see if you're listening right now and you have any questions or any comments. Put them in the comments place right now, and Brittany is gonna let us know if you have any questions or things you want to add. So if you could go back and speak to you back then, when you were at the border of in and out, what would you tell yourself to make it easier? What would you say?
Oh, I remember we used to do this a lot. We were working together. What would I say to myself? You are doing the best you can, and you've worked so hard. But I promise you, whatever decision you make, as long as it's from the heart, you will be good. You and the kids will be good. You're an amazing mom. You're an amazing human being, and you've grown so much, and you've got a beautiful life ahead of you. So just trust that everything's happening for you, and that there is a blessing in deep down in this situation.
Yeah, I love that what you said, it's happening for you. We all need to learn. Like when you face a challenge, take a deep breath and go, since I'm worthy of love, how am I going to use this to my advantage? What is this guiding me to do that's going to increase my self-worth, my wisdom, my ability to live my life? Because challenge only happens if we have not, a challenge is a challenge because you have not mastered it. Like, if you're learning how to play tennis, at first you're challenged because you don't know how to do anything. A year after, like, what used to be a challenge, you don't even think about it anymore. So when we face a challenge, it's because we're being asked to master something. Because if we mastered it, it wouldn't be a challenge. And sometimes it's just sending us in a direction that we're not aware we need to go. Like, our higher self, our soul, God, whatever you want to put on, is casting a direction for us that we need to trust that since I'm worthy of love, I'm being called to go this way. That's why, like, really starting from since I'm worthy of love, since I'm worthy of love, since I'm worthy of love. Because that way it allows us to look at the situation with being empowered, as opposed to what's wrong with me for this to be happening. Remember something, the quality of your life depends on the quality of the questions you ask about your life. The quality of your life depends on the quality of the questions you ask about your life. So when something challenging happens, if you go, since I'm worthy of love, I'm not going to use this to my advantage because it's happening for me. What am I being guided to do? Instead of, oh, what's wrong with me? Why are these things always happening with me? Can you see what happens when you go there and right away it just goes worse and worse and worse? You can't pull out of this. So really start from now on, if you're listening to this, and that's the only thing you remember. I hope you remember other things, but whenever you face a challenge, even without a challenge, you go, since I'm worthy of love, what am I going to do today to make my life better? How? Because when you make your life better, you make the life of everybody else's better. So, anything else you want to add before we leave?
I never realized that I didn't feel worthy of love. I didn't realize, and I'm so grateful that I worked with you to understand why I didn't feel worthy of love. And it was the most beautiful experience discovering that and to know you're worthy and deserving of love in a beautiful relationship, and that you don't have to sacrifice parts of yourself to be with your divinely aligned partner is a pretty amazing thing.
Yeah, and it brings tears to my eyes because, you know, when we do some of the sessions, like I could just see a little kid, like the little you know, your mommy dies. And it's like, it's so easy for a little kid to just think like, oh, what's wrong with me for this to happen? And until you become aware of it, and you know, you don't, if you're not aware, you can't, even if you're aware, because I have 2 psychiatrists, you know, that have done work with me. So obviously, consciously, they know. But subconsciously, when you can go back and find that stories and get rid of it, and it totally clear it from your physiology and then open your heart to yourself, that's when the magic happens. So thank you very much, Dana, for being here. And we're going to put this on replay, will be available. And if you enjoyed it, please follow both Dana and me on Instagram and share it with other people that you know would benefit from it. And remember that love is safe. And if it's not safe, it's not love. Bye for now.